Hi, this is Dennis Gage. Thanks for tuning in to My Classic Car, home of the certified car nut. We're at the 2001 Chevell-Abration here at Moss Wright Park in Goodlettsville, Tennessee. Somebody must have scattered a full sack of Chevelle seeds around here because there's Chevelles sprouting up all over the place. Chevelles of all varieties. There's some pretty nice El Caminos hanging on the vine too. Joining me now is my good buddy Chuck Hansen.
How you doing, Dennis?
Doing great, Chuck. And
glad you could join us.
I am. Now, don't worry about the camera. Just relax. You know. See what you can do. Now you're the president. You're the coordinator of this event and the president of ACES, right?
Right.
What's
right.
ACES?
Well, it's an acronym for the American Chevelle Enthusiast Society. Now we've got about 5,000 members around the world. We got about 400 registered participants here. I guess the rest of them are home right now, real jealous.
And as well they should be. Now you're giving away a whole bunch of very cool stuff at this.
Absolutely. We've got a lot of sponsors who have stepped up and given a lot of door prizes. We're going to give away everything from intake manifolds to carburetors, nitrous oxide systems, red line tires, rally wheel sets. The biggie though is a 502 big block that GM Performance Parts gave us, and we're going to give that to somebody later on.
Now, I probably couldn't, no.
You got a Chevelle? Are you registered for the event?
No, but I'm going to go get one really quick.
Okay. Well, then we can sign you up.
Well, hey, there's just fabulous cars around here, and I got to get around and check a few of these out. So.
Well, you know what? I've got a special one that I want to show you. Come on.
You the man. All right, let's go. Chevell-Abration is a weekend party for Chevelle enthusiasts hosted by none other than Chuck Hansen. Chuck basically rents a park for the weekend and invites his Chevelle pals to come and swap stories and have a down-home Tennessee good time. It didn't take me long to find a shiny Chevelle to drool over. Well, Brad, this is pretty much it here. The real deal, the 70 Chevelle SS LS6.
LS6 car, yes it is.
Man, this is beautiful. I've never seen one in this color.
It's hug orange. There was about 14 made, and best I can tell is one of 4 of the LS6 cars.
Boy, that makes it even more rare. Now,
yes.
the stripes were, even on the SS, the stripes were an option,
Stripes
right?
were an option, yes. Of course, everybody wants them. So
Yeah,
it was an option that went real quick.
So they'd upcharge you for it, of course.
Oh, of course they did.
Now, the interior is pretty stock. You've got you got an automatic transmission with that funky shifter. That's kind of like, that's what Scotty beamed people up with, I think.
There you go. Had tilt steering, AM, FM. That's really about the only 2 options in the, well, the console is considered an option too, but most of them had that also. But other than that, it's pretty basic.
Now, the hood was SS, but the cowl induction was something you had to
is an
pay
option
extra
also,
for.
yes,
Boy, but the real show's under the hood.
Oh, the good
this
part's
is the
under the hood.
LS6.
454, 450 horsepower.
One of the baddest big blocks ever built.
Solid lifter car.
Oh, man. Wow. That's just beautiful, and there's a lot of power there.
A lot of power, and I looked up on this car. It's a number matching car, transmission, and rear end. Originally a California car.
Pretty good shape, pretty rough shape when you got it?
The body looked pretty good. It had a decent paint job on it, which sort of scared me, because it can cover a lot of flaws, but the car was in excellent shape.
Well, you sure brought it back beautifully. Now, have you always wanted one of these, or why a LS6?
Wanted one ever since I was little, and couldn't afford one when I was young, but times have changed, and I'm fortunate enough to afford one now.
Well, that is great, and it's great you brought it here. Have you ever been to Chevell-Abration before?
My first year.
You come back?
You bet.
Oh,
wouldn't miss it.
Well, bring this baby. Maybe take me for a ride then.
Oh, I'll be glad to. Be more than happy to.
All right. Great car, Brad. Thanks,
Thank you,
man.
Dennis.
There were just so many beautifully restored Chevelles at this event. And let's not forget the Chevelle's kissing cousin, the El Camino. I didn't know which one to look at first. Each car owner had a special story to tell, but I was taken in by the one about a 16-year-old boy and the car he just had to have.
Well, this is a bad boy here. This is a 66 SS 396. That's a bad car to begin with. And I love the car, but Bill, I love the story behind it. You bought this, I mean, you've had it since you were what, 16?
Yeah, my parents bought it for me when I was 16, and my father, we tried to buy the car, and I really didn't have the money to buy the car, and my father gave up his car as a trade-in on this car so I could have it because I thought it was so special then. And he walked for 6 months so I could drive this car.
Man, I love that. Well, and you've got everything on this car. I mean, this is a race car. Even the wheels, pretty stark looking wheels there. What's the deal on that?
It's a pretty big deal for 66. We were all pretty innocent.
Yeah.
This is a 775-14 on a 375 horsepower car.
So what all you got in it? I mean, you got the 4-speed.
It's a 396 375, which is the L78 option. It's got the M22 4-speed, In '66, they made 12 Chevelles with an M22, and this car has one.
Well, even the tack, so the tack was a factory installed tack?
They call them knee knockers, and you can see why.
Yeah, I'll say.
Every owner of a '66 has a bruised knee.
My knee's hurting just looking at it.
Yeah, I'm telling you.
But I tell you, it's the 396 in this thing. That was a heck of an engine to be putting in there. And it's not just any 396 either, right?
Right, it's the L78 option. It's 375 horse. And the cars were actually underrated. I dynoed this car, and it dynos at 455, so you can see that was a joke. Yeah, and the car is completely stock. It's so original that it actually hurts. You can see the overspray on the intake, and that's the way they come.
They were in it. They were in it to make money.
Yeah, it just made a big impression on me, and the car was a lot of horsepower. Now I know what it was for, and I used it for that purpose, but I didn't show disrespect for the car.
No, well,
I always kept the parts with it.
I tell you, that's one of the best stories I've ever heard, and I've heard a few. So beautiful. It's a shrine. It's a shrine to your dad.
I'm glad you like it. Thank you.
Thanks a lot.
When discussing the history of drag racing, one of the first names that pops into everyone's mind is Big Daddy Don Garlits. The spirit of drag racing and Don Garlits grew up together, and perhaps because of this, Don started the Museum of Drag Racing in 1976. The museum houses many cars and trophies of great drivers that have made the sport what it is today. We caught up with Don, where else but in his garage working on yet another Swamp Rat.
This is state of the art.
This is just as it's the quickest accelerating vehicle other than a rocket dragster. This out accelerates the shuttle on launch. Now the shuttle picks up after it gets going, but the quarter mile, the shuttle wouldn't beat this car. But after that, it's all over. But a rocket dragster does beat this car. They have run rocket dragsters down in the. They would run in the 3s.
That's just got to be experience of a lifetime.
It is.
Every time you go down the track. Let's go out to the museum.
Okay.
This is a museum right here. The history of drag racing.
Well, this is my favorite. Swamp Rat 1. It's never sold it. Always owned it. It was never in this nice shape. It sat outside for a number of years. In 1979, we put it back together to run, and been running it ever since.
It looks so 50s. It's got a 50s look to it.
Yeah, it is. Well, it was built in 1956. Across the aisle, we have a replica of it the way it was the first time it was actually taken to the drag strip. But this is the way it was running and the way it looked at the end. And of course, we didn't want to change it back.
Well, and that's, that's you, and that's how it all looked when it was campaigned, right?
Yeah.
So this was the one that was too ugly to be in the magazine?
This is it. This is the Flathead Dragster. We won the Lake City race, and in fact, there's some pictures of it up at Lake City in the bottom. The bottom 3 pictures are Lake City, and now they wouldn't show it in the magazine. And later, they did a scrapbook picture. You saw that in my office, and they did run it in Hot Rod then.
But even your steering mechanism is just so wild.
Yeah.
And then this one?
This is the first time out. This is actually the way Swamp Rat 1 looked the very first time I took it to the race. In fact, here's the pictures of it at the Brooksville drag strip that day. And then we redid this car later because this car then evolved into what you see over there. And so we had a frame here, and I said, well, let's just build it the way it was that day where it would run. We take it out and run it. And I've got a lot of fun with it. And it runs about the same as it did then. Yeah.
I love your shorty springs, too.
Yeah. We thought it had to have suspension.
Got away from that later on, right?
Yeah. This is 11. This is the one I made. This was one of the first comebacks when I shaved my beard at Indy. They said I was all through over the hill. And we went up to Indianapolis and won the race.
Now here your rails are exposed versus, encased.
Lightweight. Yeah, we were getting away from the heavy bodies and everything.
Now what, were those aluminum? The
bodies?
Yeah.
Yes, all,
they were.
all aluminum. And after that car came this car. Of course, we had the big sponsor from Smothers Brothers, so they wanted the body back on it. This car actually ran without the body for a while, like in this artist rendering.
Uh-huh.
And then we put the body on it for the Smothers Brothers and ran it for a year. and then built this car. When it was too heavy, so we went back in 1969. This is 68. I went back in 69 to no body in the front. Of course, there's a transmission that blew up and cut my foot off.
Oh, that's the one, huh?
That's the piece.
Phew.
Then I sold this car.
Is that the blow up there?
That's the blow up.
Holy mackerel. Don.
That's this car. Fact is,
Holy
you can see this
cow.
little, if you look right here, you can see this little dent in the roll cage right there.
Yeah.
That's this Allen screw head right there where it hit together. And that's how I identified this car, because we fixed it and sold it. Sewed it back together, and I found it with a Chevrolet engine down in Bradenton years later and bought it from the guy.
But you knew from that dent, huh?
I knew from that dent that was the car.
God.
Like a serial number.
Don had just about everything imaginable in this museum, even a blown lawnmower he used in a television commercial.
Of course,
Garlits Dodge.
that's my original Roadster.
Another 413 Max Wedge. That's
Yeah.
quite an engine too, actually.
And this is Granatelli's FIA record Plymouth. It's had all the records with it.
Those 62s were the funniest looking body.
Aren't that,
That
isn't
they
that it's a
ever-
one-off.
Yeah, it's a one-off, all right. I think there's a reason for that.
Yeah, they didn't sell well.
Now, got to have some Willies.
Yeah. K.S. Pittman's car. Mm-hmm. The Olds engine. This is Swamp Rat 32. That's the first monowing car.
Uh-huh.
In the gold dragster that never ran good, but it's got $75,000 worth of gold plating on it.
Wow. This is, you talk about jewelry.
Yeah, this is jewelry. And it's all kind of really strange design. I mean, it's the car's pieces together. See how it bolts together?
Oh, yeah.
It's got bulkheads in it. It's real heavy. Look at all the bracing, special bracing on it. Never ran real good, but it was really, the guy was an engineer, and it was all his ideas how the car should be built. And it didn't run good, but they had so much money on it, they never would piece it out and sell it. Mm-hmm. So a couple of years ago, he called me up. He said, I still got that car in the garage. Do you remember me? I said, I sure do.
How are you going to forget?
I said, how could I ever forget this thing?
Well, if somebody's going to get one in parts, you're probably the guy to give it
This
to.
is the place for it to be, right?
So this is 32?
32, yeah. I actually drove this car. This is the car I hurt my eyes in with the special parachute. Stopped 247 miles an hour, stopped in 300 feet. Took about 7 Gs. And it popped my eyes out and tore the vitreous.
Holy mackerel. And you keep getting back in these things.
Yeah.
Well, Don, I got to tell you, this has been quite an experience. You've got a heck of a place here. You've preserved it all.
Well, Dennis, I really enjoy it. You know, it's a work of love. We've been on it since 1976, my wife and I. And just last week, a few little things came in that to me are important, and we add them to the collection. As you can see, it's a lifelong project.
Well, this is sort of the Smithsonian of drag racing.
Yeah, I'd
Thanks
like
a lot,
to think
Don.
that.
You're my hero. Cool. Can we take one of these out for a cruise? What do you say?
Yeah, pick one out.
I'll take this one over here. Come on.
Okay.